thing I want you to do for me.
What?
Come here.
What?
Win. Win.
What are we waiting for? Take this!
What's going on, people? What's going on, good people? Let me know if I'm good. Let me know if the audio's good. Let me know if the visual's good. We got to win this week. We got to win this game. Let me know if I'm good, please. We got to win this one. Y'all know how much I hate the Philadelphia Eagles, man. With a passion. With a passion, I hate the Philadelphia Eagles. Let me know if I'm good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Sydney. Shout out to everybody that's in the building tonight. Shout out. Make sure you hit that like button on the way in or either on the way out, whichever one suits you better. But yeah, it's Philly week. It's Philly week. We're going to get right into this, man. We're going to get right into this. We're going to talk about some things. Obviously, it's not too much to talk about. New York Giants need to win tomorrow. We need to win this game badly. I need it bad, for sure. Shout out to the people that's in the building. Shout out to AJ in the building. My man, Chakra King, G Black is in the building. Sydney Angel in the building. Blazing Brazen in the building. El Jefe, what's going on, Europe? What's going on, man? How we doing, man? How we feeling today? How we feeling about this game? I know I'm earlier than normal. I think I like this slot a little bit better. I don't know who else is on right now. I know the Giants community is usually pretty thick on pause. Pretty thick when it comes to Saturday night pregame talks and stuff like that. But we in the building, man. Sydney says she's still hurting from the Bengals. Need this one bad. That's a fact. Listen, you guys know me. Hopefully you know me enough. You know how much I hate the Philadelphia Eagles more than I hate the Dallas Cowboys. A lot of people that hate the Dallas Cowboys more don't understand why. And there's a couple of reasons why. I won't get into too many details, but again, I hate the Philadelphia Eagles. I need the New York Giants to do some things. I need them to really do some things. Like if there was ever a game where I needed Daniel Jones, like if there was ever a game that I really needed Daniel Jones, I need Daniel Jones tomorrow. I need him tomorrow. Pause. I need him. Yes, Malik Neighbors is back. The return of Leak. It is what it is. Listen, I think he's ready to go. He's been gone, 20 plus days? 20 plus days? He should be good and ready to go. I saw the news. He's switching his helmet. I saw another rumor talking about he might be wearing a Guardian helmet, but he pretty much squashed that. But he did switch his helmet. He does feel good. He's feeling healthy right now. The concussion did scare him. His first concussion ever in life is what he said. But he's ready to go. And when you got that dog in you, like Lee got that dog in him, all it takes is just one play. He should be right back in it. Right back in the fight. Shout out to Sydney. Sydney with the $5 super chat says, just showing love. Cry, Eagles, cry. Let's go. That's a fact. Cry, Eagles, cry. Cry, Eagles, cry, especially at MetLife. I can't wait, man. I'm excited about this game. Too excited about this game. My man El Jefe says, not going to lie, after last game, it's a week-to-week basis. Last week, I was confident. This week, I'm confident / nervous because we need this win. Yes. We need it. Yeah, we need this win for sure. For sure, we need this. Oh, man, here we go. Bill says, I hate the Eagles because the filthy calls Taylor ham pork roll. That's a fact. It's Taylor ham. And I do apologize for some people. That New Jersey is divided between pork roll and Taylor ham. I come from a section where it's Taylor ham as well. That's a fact. My man Five Blizzard said, I always hate the Cowboys or cow bums. Let me get that right. Cow bums more than the Eagles. If you grew up around thousands of cow turf fans in Newark and Irvington, New Jersey, you understand why. What part of Irvington, man? There was a time I was on Florence Ave. I had some family that lived on Florence Ave in Irvington. So shout out to Irvington, man. Shout out to Newark for sure. Talking early mid 90s. So way back. When I was a kid. Had some family that lived on Florence Ave in Springfield. Sydney Angel says, I want to see Barkley fumble. Yeah, we're going to get into it. I was in the spaces earlier today. Everybody is familiar with Charlie from Maine. Shout out to Charlie from Maine. A lot of people loathe Charlie. I understand. Well, actually, I don't understand Charlie, but Charlie's my man. I've known Charlie for a long time, almost 10 years now. If we, as far as internet friendships and stuff like that. Shout out to Charlie. I was arguing with Charlie earlier today. He just hates Daniel Jones so much. He just wants the New York Giants to lose. I said, Charlie, that's one thing I can't do. I can't hope or wish my team to lose. I can't do it. I can't, no matter what the situation is. You will never get me to root for losses. I understand certain situations where people would like to do that, but that's just not me. But one thing I told him today, I said, he kept talking about how good the Eagles were. And I'm like, have you been watching the Eagles? This is not that same Eagles team. Like they've been struggling. The offense isn't good. The defense hasn't shown up. The coaches yelling at fans, arguing with fans on the sideline. It's crazy over there. And you know what? I would, you hate, talk about somebody losing their job. But man, I want to beat the Eagles so bad that the GM looks at Sirianni and takes a long pause and thinks about leaving that pink slip on his desk. That's how bad I want to beat the Eagles. That's how bad I want to beat the Eagles, man. And forgive me for saying that, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Shout out to Blazing Braids. He said, what do we need to see from the Giants for a win? I need to see the run established. That's every game. Every game. Old school football fans know. New school football fans know as well. It always starts with the trenches. It always starts with running the ball and being able to stop the run. If I had one thing that I would push back against Dable this season, even in the good games, the games that we won, is that he gets away from the run a little bit too early. And we do need to establish the run for sure. That will never change. That's football 1-on-1, probably one of the first rules in football, being able to stop the run and run the ball for sure. El Jefe said he's a Chargers fan. Yeah, he's a Herbert fan for sure. But guess what? Herbert is not having the greatest statistical year either. And I haven't heard him say anything about Herbert in a while. It's all about the wide receivers of other teams and whoever we're facing is just going to dog us out, this, that, and the third. So, but again, shout out to Charlie. Charlie has his own little stick that he's been sticking to, and he's 100% when he comes to, believing what he wants to believe. But I told him today, yeah, you're not really watching ball. You're not. This ain't the same Eagles. They're not dominant. But guess what? I don't want to build in any excuses because again, I do believe that the New York Giants beat the Philadelphia Eagles tomorrow. I just have one of those feelings. I'm not saying that I'm nervous. I mean, not saying that I'm super confident. I am still a little bit nervous because it is the Eagles at the end of the day. And you know how the Giants have been playing at home. Not happy about that. Not happy about that situation at all. But I think the New York Giants can do something again. I already sent my prayers up. Hopefully they get answered. Hopefully they get answered, and the New York Giants can do some things for sure. For sure. LFA says, my other brother thinks Barkley's going to cook us. Not listen, man. If you want to talk about Barkley cooking anybody or anything like that, I don't know if you guys realize that the New York Giants have cracked the top 10 total defense this week. Top 10. The New York Giants, the New York Football Giants have a top 10 total defense. Almost fell out my chair when I saw it. I knew we were playing well. I knew we were doing good. I knew we were, the defense is the strong side of the ball right now, but I did not know that we cracked the top 10. I knew our front was pretty good, but total defense, the New York Giants are top 10. Fantastic news. Now, if our offense can get it together, you know what? I think we should be able to go in there and do some things. I don't think Barkley's going to have a huge game against us. Barkley is known for, he might get 15, 20 attempts and he might crack 100 yards, but it's always going to be in the mix of that 20 is probably going to be one where he breaks like a 40, 50 yarder. And the rest of that is, 2-3 yards here and there, negative yards. That's Barkley's game. That's Barkley's game. And it hasn't changed. But yeah, man, I just don't see it. I just don't see it this week. I don't think he has a big game. He's a little bit naive too, man. I'm surprised by it too, because he still doesn't think it's that big of a deal that he went to the Philadelphia Eagles. I saw him on a presser, little interview in front of his locker this week, and he doesn't expect to get booed or anything like that. And I'm like, he is out of touch. They're gonna boo Barkley so bad. I don't think he really knows what's gonna happen. I really don't. Check something real quick. All right. So let me get to more of these chats really quickly. Sydney says, Dash, there are a lot of Giants fans want us to tank. We still in it for the division. Tomorrow could change the feeling. Yes, a couple of wins will do that. We just think about us, just the people that are in this room, just the people that are part of this channel. Just think about what we did after we beat the Seahawks. We got optimism really quickly. And we were hoping that we were going to build off of that win, and it didn't happen. We ended up losing not bad at home, but we ended up losing at home again. And but you turn around, you beat the Philadelphia Eagles tomorrow at home handily, hopefully. I think a lot of people will turn around again. Is it fool's gold? It could be fool's gold. But at the end of the day, when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles, I don't care if it's fool's gold or not. I just want to win. Absolutely want to win. Johnny Lovely says, same. I value us winning over anything, to be honest. That's a fact, man. Like, some people really do root for us to lose. I mean, to each his own, but I just can't do it. Bill Harton says, Eagles fans I know are actually hoping we win so they can finally get rid of Sirianni. Oh, wow. Okay. I will gladly do that for him. I would do that for him for sure. Listen, I know they don't like Sirianni. Like, if you want to say that Brian Dable, like some people will call Brian Dable a bad coach, he is lapping Nick Sirianni. What does tell me one thing Nick Sirianni does that's good? One thing, please. Trash talk, maybe? And I don't even think he's that good at that. I don't know, man. I don't know. Five Blizzard says Tracy needs at least 6 touches in the first half. Last week, he only got 3 in the first. Listen, he needs more than 6 touches in the first. That's not establishing the run if you're only getting 6 touches to your running back in the first half. No. Depending on how we do these drives, I know that Brian Dable said 16 play drives are not sustainable. But, 8 plays, 10 plays, something like that. If we got 10 plays, 6 play drives, I need at least 3 or 4 touches to the running back in just the drive alone, not just the half. And law average and stuff like that. We probably get about 2-3 possessions a quarter, depending on how the flow of the game is going. At least 2 possessions a quarter. Yeah, so he definitely got to get more than 6 touches to Tracy. I know he's going to be split with Devin Singletary. That's probably one of the best storylines going into this game is how do they, share that load between Singletary and Tracy. I'm curious to see how that happens. I'm with everybody now. I was holding back for so long when it came to, calling Tyrone Tracy running back 1. I was saying, Devin Singletary still did some things, but we saw Tracy, in 2 games give us some positive things, show us some positive things. And I'm curious how Brian Dable calls it tomorrow for these 2 running backs. And he did say in the press that these guys will be involved. Even Gray will be involved. He doesn't really answer questions, like a lot of coaches don't answer questions. But that's probably one of the things I'm curious in seeing is how they split the load, Pauls, for with the running backs, for sure. My man Blaze and Brady said, I need Bowen to be aggressive the entire game. That's a fact. If we're going to sit in this zone, because Jalin Hyatt is successful when it comes to man. He likes to have people turn and run and clear out the center of the field so he can break off his little runs here and there for first downs. We're gonna play zone. We're gonna get pressure with 4. If we can't get pressure with 4, please send the 5. So I'm with you, Blazing. We have to be aggressive the entire game. Philly is not one of those teams where you can, pretty much take your foot off the gas. You can't do that. At the end of the day, you still have AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley is still on that field, and they can flip a game. They can score anytime the ball touches their hands. So we cannot show a lack of aggressiveness at all. Shout out to Omega Supreme in the building. Big Dash in the chat was good. Let's go Yankees tonight. Let's go Big Blue tomorrow. That's a fact. Let's go Yanks. I don't know how many guys in here or people are in here. I should say people keep it fair. Are Yankees fans, but I am a Yankee fan. Just is. It is what it is. Shout out to the Mets, too. We love a Subway Series. That's a fact. Shout out to my man TP Way the Giant in the building. He says it's up. That's a fact. It's up. Barkley trying to play the nice role. I don't like it. Fee 5 4 fum to the chat. That's a fact. Fee 5 4 fum. Shout out to TP Way the Giant. Again, if you're not subscribed to TP Way the Giant, go ahead and check out that man's page, like and subscribe his channel as well. Shout out to all the Giants content creators out there. But TP Way is one of those ones for sure. One of those ones. All right, Blazing says, I got fam in Wilmington, Delaware. I already know where you're going now. That are Eagles fans and need to shut up by need to be shut up by Giants win. That's a fact. Listen, I'll give you guys some honesty really quickly. I'll give you some honesty. Like I said, I do not like the Philadelphia Eagles. There was a point in time where Dallas was like number one on that list, but I had one of my favorite cousins, man. One of my favorite cousins, also from New Jersey, is a big Eagles fan. And for years and years and years, when the Eagles would beat us, I knew my phone was going to go off. He was either going to call me, text me, hit me on Facebook, hit me somewhere and just either laugh or talk trash. And after like 15, 20 years of that, maybe not 20 years, but after a long time of that, it just grew. The hate for Philadelphia grew. And then just all the other stuff. You take notice of just all the other fans as well. And yeah, I just can't do it. I don't like them at all. I don't like anything about Philadelphia. Purple and gold bars in the building. Shout out to Purple and gold. Good luck this week, Big Dash. It's going to be a close game, but most importantly, winnable. That's a fact. I appreciate it. Good luck to you as well. You guys is it Green Bay, right? Green Bay this week? I believe you guys got Green Bay this week for sure. A lot of people saying what's up to TP. A lot of people showing love. El Jefe showing love. That's a fact. That's a fact. Sydney says Goddard is out, plus Mailata is out for the Eagles. That's a fact. They're losing, just like we don't have Andrew Thomas, they don't have Mailata as their left tackle too. And despite, even if they did have him, the way that Brian Burns has been turning it on the past two games, I think he builds off of that. I love the way that Azeez Ojulari played last week. I hope he builds off of that. And again, he has an underlining cause for doing well, and that's called a paycheck and a contract. He's looking for the bag next season, no matter who signs him. If we get a chance to sign him or if he goes anywhere else, he is on the hunt for the bag. So I expect to see Azeez continue to grow off that performance that he just had, for sure. For sure. Thunder said, well, shout out to Thunder first of all. Shout out to Thunder. I feel like they're gonna dink and dunk passes, and they try the run. We got to be able to stop the run and tackle. That's important. You know what? We have improved in tackling. That's one thing I feel a little bit more comfortable with the New York Giants. Again, we had issues missing tackles. Early in the season, we had a couple of big missed tackles, but they have cleaned that up, especially during the secondary. Tyler Nubin is a tackling machine. He doesn't flash all the time, but when you look at the box score, he's getting almost double-digit tackles every game. Now, you don't want your safety leading you in tackles, but somebody got to make the tackles. Shout out to my family in the building. Shamari says, Big Dad, what's going on, Shamari? Shout out to my cousin, big brother cousin, too. Menace King says, I like Singletary as a goal line back, Tracy as an all-purpose back. What do you think? I'm right there with you. For the first couple of weeks, I thought Tracy would be that change of pace guy, but I'm leaning with you guys. You guys said it first. I was a little bit reluctant, but I think that Tracy should be the second down back, and then you bring in Singletary on third down. That's how I feel. Now, is that going to happen right away? Probably not. You're probably going to see Singletary first out of respect, but I think as the game goes, and depending on who has the hot hand too, you'll see Tracy get the majority of the carries. That's just my opinion. We'll see what happens. So. Omega Supreme says, anybody going to the game to boo that bum Barkley, unrespectingly speaking. Okay. Hopefully, let me know if y'all going to the game. Let me know. Let me know if anybody's going to the game in the building. Shout out to Mike C. Mike C is a season ticket holder. He said he was going to be at the game earlier today when I spoke to him in the spaces. He said he was going to the game. He was going to be there. He does not believe that we're going to win. But it is what it is. It is. He thinks it's going to be a low-scoring game too. But like I said, we'll see what happens. You know what I want to see tomorrow? I want to see the New York Giants get an interception. We haven't had an interception since Morsau. Since Morsau got one, I believe it was that the Viking game when he got the tip? We haven't had another interception. One interception on each. So we're leading the league in sacks, which I'm totally grateful for. Love that. We need to get some more turnovers. We have caused some fumbles. We got some fumble coverage and stuff like that. But I'm trying to see some picks. And Jalin Hyatt has been throwing some interceptions this year. And hopefully he throws a couple to us, and hopefully we can get a pick six tomorrow. I want a pick six tomorrow. If we get a pick six, I'm gonna be super duper happy. Obviously, I want to win. Winning is everything, but I would like for us to make it look really good, especially for this defense. John May says, shout out to John May. He says, say your prayers for Zudu tonight. Yeah. I said my prayers for Daniel Jones. I will definitely say some prayers for Zudu as well. I'm hoping that the Priscilla effect includes Zudu tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Keep with the duo scheme. You're probably going to see 12 personnel with a Zudu out there. You're probably going to see the double tights. Bellinger is probably going to get a lot of snaps. He's probably going to be doing a lot of chipping. Unless Zudu can prove that he can hold his own on the outside, you're probably going to see a lot of 12 personnel tomorrow. But here's the thing: if they can prove that they can hold that defensive front of the Philadelphia Eagles, get out of the 12 personnel, because that's not how we want to operate. Really, that's kind of operating scared, in my opinion. But we're probably going to see a fair share of 12 personnel tomorrow. 2 tight ends for sure. My man G5 3736 people, show some love. Hit that like. That's a fact. Hit the like button. Hit that like button, man. Make sure you hit that like button. Yeah, I got some news too. I want to thank everybody that's here, and also everybody else that watches the channel. I hit 1 million views. Hit 1 million views total. Been doing this thing for 3 years. Big milestone for me. But again, I can't do any of that. Can't achieve any of that without everybody tuning in and vibing with your boy. So I do appreciate everybody that's in the building now and everybody that tunes in to the videos throughout the week, man. Appreciate that from the bottom of my heart for sure. My man G537 says Aziz, Dex, and Burns. That's a fact. Guys got to get off tomorrow. Pause. We need them to show up for sure. For sure. Just think about it. The last time we played the Philadelphia Eagles was the last game of the year last year, and they played their starters. They were fighting for playoff positioning. They still had a chance to win the division, so they were trying to win that game, and we made them quit at halftime, and they sat their starters. That was the last time the New York Giants played the Philadelphia Eagles. That's what we did. I need to see the same thing. And this time they can't take out their starters. I need to see that for sure. Start off fast too, man. I would love to get a pick six in like the first quarter. Just keep the pressure on Hurts, man. Contain them. Don't let them get out of that pocket. Keep them in, and then just clean up after that. Let Dex push the pocket, and then let the edges clean up. And then if he escapes, Bobby, Mike, and McFadden, do your job. Nah, man, thank you, man. El Jefe says, congrats, Dad. Nah, I appreciate it, man. That's for sure. I appreciate it. Blaze and Brazen, that's a fact, man. That's a fact. Dash, we vibes with you, Chief. Let's go 10K next that's a fact, man. For the vibers. I like that. For the vibers. That's a fact. Now, I appreciate the love and support. Again, I can't listen. From the bottom of my heart, man, I thank everybody in here. I thank everybody that tunes in and watches, man. Because again, without you guys, the channel wouldn't be where it is right now. And again, want to continue to grow. And I think that we can get there for sure. 10K on the road to 10K. That is the mantra. We're gonna do that, man. We're absolutely gonna do that, man. Not the main goal, but definitely one of the goals. Because again, I didn't do this for any other reason but to share my opinion about the team that I love, the New York Giants. Man, I do this out of love for sure, 100%. So I just want to talk about a few things, man. So we got the welcomes, got to the comments. I want to talk about this game a little bit. I want to talk about the offense, and I want to see what the temperature in the room is for Daniel Jones right now. We have been all over the place. I want to know what you guys think about, or I should say, what do you guys want to see from Daniel Jones tomorrow? It can be realistic. It can be fiction. It could be science fiction at the end of the day. What do you want to see from Daniel Jones tomorrow? What do you think gets it done for Daniel Jones tomorrow? And then I'm going to talk about a couple other plays, but I want to see what people think about Daniel Jones first tomorrow. What you guys want? You can say it from your heart. You can say it from your brain. It might be two different things. You might be fighting with yourself over how you feel about Daniel Jones. But I want to know what you guys need strictly for tomorrow, not for the season. Not saying he's going to be the guy here forever. I'm saying for tomorrow, one game at a time, any given Sunday. What do you want to see from Daniel Jones tomorrow? Let me know what y'all guys think about that. And while y'all, put that in the chat, Malik Neighbors, his return, I don't think he slows down. I don't think it's going to take him a while to get started. I think as soon as he's on the field, he's going to be the first read, and he's probably going to catch the first pass. They're probably going to give him something early, maybe like a wide receiver screen. I could see that happening. Maybe not the first play of the game, but I could definitely see a wide receiver screen happening just to get the feel of football back for Malik Neighbors. So I think that's going to happen. Shout out to my man TP Way. He says Seattle Daniel Jones, he's going off tomorrow. I believe it. Listen, if we can get Seattle Daniel Jones the rest of the year, we talking about fighting in the division then, for sure. Fighting for the top of the division. We can get Seattle Daniel Jones for sure. My man Bill Hartnett says accurate, in time, in stride passes. That's the most important thing, especially for Yak. Got to be in stride. That's what I want to see. That's a fact. That's a fact. My man Jose says 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, 35 rushing yards, no interceptions. That's what I want to see from Jones. That's a fact. Got to keep it a clean game. Got to keep it clean. No fumbles either. Let's add no fumbles. No fumbles. My man Johnny says need him to just be calm and to soak in the crowd's energy. Listen, last week I was proud of the crowd for not booing. We were proud, but we were in the game for most of, we were in that game for the most part. But the crowd did not boom. The crowd did not boom. They were loud, they were pushing, they were rooting for the team. We just didn't pull it off. So hopefully the crowd continues to be that way. Support the team, give him some good positive energy, especially when they walking in from their cars to the locker room. Man, I don't know why they allow the people to be out there. While they're walking from their car to the locker room. Maybe you shouldn't do that. Before the game is one thing, after the game, maybe not. But, we'll see what happens. But definitely, hopefully, they show some support and root for the guy behind center. Sydney says, less design runs. I want us to play more run or pass. Jones needs to complete some passes and get into rhythm. I do believe that. I want him to take control of that offense. Now, I will say this, Sydney. I will say this. His coordinator, head coach, and the guy calling the plays is Brian Dable. There are going to be some design runs for sure. That's Brian Dable's bag. Quarterback design runs, that is Brian Dable's bag. That's stuff he likes to do. We're probably going to see some of that for sure. Now, here's the thing. If we're successful with the regular running game early, maybe he doesn't do it. But that's Brian Dable we talking about. He's definitely going to do some quarterback design runs for sure. For sure. That's just his bag. Omega Supreme says they were saving their booze for this week. Don't say that, man. They were saving the booze for this week. I hope not, man. That's funny though. Are they playing at the Link tomorrow? No, it's a home game for the Giants. It is a home game. I don't know how we feel about that, Bill, if it makes a difference on how you feel about it, but it's a home game. It's a home game. Michael DeRoos, let me know if I said that right. Ward looked good versus Louisville, but Louisville's defense is awful. Oh, okay. You talking college ball. Yeah. If you saw me on Twitter today, I was very, very active during these college games. And Cam Ward did look really good. Always poised, strong arm, trusts himself too much, so much to a fault in some cases, but he got that kind of swag. So shout out to Cam Ward. Shout out to the Miami for pulling that off late. Almost 100 points in that game too for both teams. Ended up being, I believe it was 52-38, I believe at the end of that game. A lot of points being scored there. A lot of points. We need that injection of offense for the New York Giants. Not saying we need Cam Ward. I would love to get Cam Ward, but I'm just saying we need that tomorrow. We need a big boost of offense tomorrow for sure. Jose says more play action. Yeah, we might be able to see that. If we're successful running the ball, you might see some play action. We can't start off the bat with play action. I don't think that'll work, but if we're successful running the ball, I think you will see some play action. I want to see some running back screens as well. We showed that we can have some success running those running back screens because we were horrible for a long time with running back screens. And now we seem to have the good enough O-line play that we can do that. You know what what I don't want to see since we're talking about this? I don't want to see a legal formation, a legal motion, or a legal man downfield. That's what I don't want to see tomorrow. Whatever we need to do to clean that up, we need, and that's been an issue since Brian Dable has been here. We've seen a lot of plays get called back. I saw a touchdown get called back against the Dallas. What was it in 2022? I think it was 2022. Yeah, and it was Lawrence Cager. It was a touchdown. The Lawrence Cager guy got called back for a legal man downfield. We can't do that, man. Those that's a heartbreaker. Those are some of the worst calls ever, for sure. Shout out to my man Joseph Wilcox in the building with the $5 super chat. He says, I just received my throwback number 8 jersey. Now my man Dan is going to do his thing. Just catch the daggone ball. That's a fact. Guys got to hold on to the ball, man. Guys got to hold on to the ball. I can't argue with that. I can't argue. I wish I could. The guys got to hold on to the ball for sure. Shout out to my man Joseph, man. My man Blazing says Dable's going to run Jones between the center and guards. Injury clause. Yeah, he doesn't care about that injury clause at all. He proved that. He proved that last week. QB power. And this man is coming off the knee and the neck, and you running QB. He does not care. Not one bit. He doesn't care one bit about that injury clause. Brian Dable is trying to win games. It's two things. It's two things. Either Brian Dable is just trying to win games, or he's trying to get Daniel Jones out of here. But that QB power guy coming off a knee and a neck, whew, I don't know. But again, that's his style of play calling. He did it with Josh Allen. He likes QB design runs, and that's just who Brian Dable is. Oh, wait a minute. That's news for me. Ewers got benched. Wow. What's the score? Let me know what the score is, John. He got benched. Wow. He just came back last week. Wow. That's not good. That's not good for his draft stock. Got benched. Somebody let me know the score of that game. Oh, drum roll, please. I got my man Dwayne Murphy in the building. Dwayne Murphy Jr. says, don't worry about tanking. Daniel Jones will take care of that for us. It's too early for that, man. It's too early for that. Nah, man. Shout out to Dwayne, man. Shout out to Dwayne in the building. Michael says, I like Malachi Starks. I think he'll be great in the NFL. Yes, for those who don't know, Malachi Starks is a safety for the Georgia Bulldogs. Very talented. Most likely going to be a top 10 pick. That's big, too, when we're talking about safeties here. But he is very talented. Malachi Starks out of Georgia, for sure. 20-0, Georgia. What quarter are we in? 23-0. Okay. What quarter are we in? Is it third quarter? That's crazy too, because when I was watching the game, Beck had threw an interception. It was still 0-0. But Beck doesn't look good to me at all either. We'll see what happens. Sydney says, I agree with more tight end involvement. That's a fact. You have to. Why you have additional weapons on the field, use them. Tight ends are weapons. They're safety blankets, security blankets, whatever you want to call them. Use your tight ends more, please, more. And we saw whenever we get the ball to the tight end, it's usually positive chain movers. Use the tight end more. I'm 100% with you, Sydney, on that one. My man Matt says we should play well tomorrow. I hope so. That's what I'm rooting for. It's not even third quarter. It's only halftime, approaching halftime. Okay. And they pulled yours. Wow, he must have been looking awful. Awful. Bill says, illegal shift is a new hands to the face. The Zebras love this year. Yeah, man. I hate when the presence of the refs is just too much. I hate when it's too much. When they affect the game too much, pretty much. I just don't like the refs doing that. So thank you for everybody for letting me know what they want to see from Daniel Jones. My next question is, will we see the same Darius Slayton now that Malik Neighbors is back? Are we going to see him make plays? Are we going to see him get used, deep shots? Are we going to see the same Darius Slayton that we saw now that Malik Neighbors is back? That's my next question to everybody here. Let me know. While you guys get that in the chat, Menace King says, what's your Neighbors receiving prediction? I'm thinking 150. 150 plus, not going to lie. Hold on. 150 for Neighbors tomorrow. Thinking about that secondary, Quinyon Mitchell most likely going to be covering Neighbors. It's all about the targets. Um, as long as Neighbors is on the field, I'm not going to say he can't crack 100 every time he's on the field. He's just that type of player. It's just about the opportunities. Um, will Daniel Jones be able to hit him? That's I think that's what it is. But 150 is a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Just like you said, not gonna lie. 150 is a lot, especially first game back. I'm not gonna say it's impossible. But I think he can definitely crack 100. 150, that's a whole nother story. He cracked 150 on the Eagles. We back in business, man. We back in business. Don't forget to add a touchdown to that too. Not just 150 and a touchdown. But I say plus 90 yards most likely. I can see the 80 to 90 yards and a touchdown from Malik Neighbors. That's what I think is good. I like those numbers even better if you can add another 70 for like Darius Slayton. Or if Neighbors can get 100 and Darius can get like 75, then we talk some good business. But we'll see what happens. Jose says 3 receptions for Slayton, 50 yards. Listen, if Malik Neighbors is getting 7 to 8 receptions and 100 plus, and then Darius Slayton's getting 50 yards off 3 receptions, that's pretty good. That's over 10 yards a carry. 10 yards a catch. That's feasible. That's something that should be feasible. Let's see tomorrow. Man, D Money says Leak gonna cook secondary. Yeah. He's gonna cook secondary. I think so. They got young cornerbacks back there. They do have Slade, a veteran, but he's old. And then you got Quinyon Mitchell. I got people screaming Cooper DeJean. What's Gardner Johnson and stuff like that. Listen, I'm not worried about none of those guys, man. I'm not worried about none of those guys. If I'm worried about anybody, it's that defensive front. But I think our offensive line, as long as they stick to the dual blocking scheme, I think we should be all right. I think that Daniel Jones should have some time to distribute the rock, but make the right decisions at the end of the day. My man, Michael, you did Tibbs. Tibbs is on IR, man. He's going at least 3 more weeks, and depending on how he feels after that, we'll see what happens when he comes back. But I don't expect to see Tibbs for a while, but at least 3 more weeks he has to be on IR. So that's what it is. D Money says Slayton dropping 2 crucial balls this game. Minimum Hyatt going ball out too. Listen, you guys know me, man. When it comes to Jalin Hyatt, I'm driving the bus. I'm gonna stop just pushing the narrative for Jalin Hyatt. I will say this. There is going to be a game where he is going to flash and he's going to have he's finally going to have his introduction to the league. What everybody has been waiting to see. And I hope that it's against the Philadelphia Eagles tomorrow. Because there is for Giants fans, there's been a lot of doubt growing when it comes to Hyatt because we have not seen what we wanted to see yet. We could say there's a lot of things affecting that, but until we see it on the field, it's a lot of people that are down on Hyatt. The Hyatt stock is down right now. I'll leave it at that for sure. Blazing says, I hope they don't do the force feed of Neighbors. I'll say this because I had that same mindset earlier in the season about force feeding Neighbors. I got to be honest with you. If Neighbors is your first read, and 8 times out of 10, Neighbors is getting open. So if he's your first read and he's open, he's going to get the ball. So it's not necessarily a force feed, but if he's first in your progression and he's getting open, he's going to get the ball, man. And right now he's getting open frequently. Michael, Giants never should have let Saquon Barkley go. Yeah, that's an old Band-Aid, man. Old wounds, old Band-Aid, spilled milk. A lot of people will agree with you. I think it was Barkley's decision. He could have did it back in 2023. He could have signed that deal back in 2023. Or he could have signed a deal at the bye in 2022. Barkley's not here because he didn't want to be here. Now we can say that Shane didn't want him here anymore too, but I think a lot of that had to do with the negotiations that he went through in 2023. They said as much, or he said as much on the Hard Knocks. After that 2023, debacle in offseason, not getting him signed long term, the writing was on the wall, and it is what it is after that. But yeah, I would love to still have Barkley with Neighbors and his offense the way it is right now with a good blocking scheme, improved offensive line. I would love it, but no, he's an Eagle and he's an enemy. He's an op. It is what it is. It is what it is. I hope he does terrible tomorrow. Absolutely terrible. Dwayne Murphy Jr. says, I have no doubt in Hyatt. It's the person who needs to get him the ball that I doubt. That I have doubt in. He's been sabotaged by DJ's limitations. Yeah. Yeah. You got a point there. You got a point there. I saw a video of the team DJ for the New York Giants. I posted it on Twitter. He even, like, I didn't know he had a podcast. He has a podcast. And he was saying the same thing about Hyatt. He was talking about, do the coaches trust Daniel Jones enough to call the plays to get Hyatt involved, to take the deep shots? So a lot of people are pushing that narrative that Daniel Jones is an issue with why Hyatt is not being used. They point to last year where Tommy DeVito was able to, to get him involved, where Tyrod Taylor was able to get Hyatt involved. Daniel Jones did get Hyatt involved in some Cajun soup, but not the same way that DeVito or Tyrod Taylor did. So there's some truth in that. But again, that's spilled milk. Tyrod ain't here anymore. We got Daniel Jones starting tomorrow. Do your job, Daniel Jones. Get these guys involved for sure. Moves Brown says Saquon gone old head. Watch him go crazy tomorrow, though. I don't think he's going to go crazy. I think he will break a big run because that's just what it is when it comes to the New York Giants. I think he will break something, in order to get people to start, feeling bad as Giants fans. Like, see, we shouldn't have let him go. He's going to do that. He's Saquon Barkley. He probably will break a big run. Keep him out the end zone is my deal. Keep him out the end zone. You could try to. You're not going to really stop Saquon Barkley. I hope we do. You want to try to contain him first, but if we end up stopping him, fine. Well, you know what I want though? I want Dexter Lawrence to knock the sonic rings out of him. That's what. I don't even care who hits him. Somebody need to knock the sonic rings out of Saquon Barkley for sure. For sure. Tomorrow, I need to see that. Bring that type of energy. Because Saquon Barkley is going to try to stiff arm somebody, but I want somebody to knock the sonic rings out of Saquon Barkley tomorrow. For sure. Okay, I see there's a little back and forth going on with Dwayne and Bill. Says, okay, I'm gonna let you guys do it in the chat, man. Pause. I'm gonna let you guys handle y'all business. Handle that fade in the chat. Sydney Angel says the Giants faithful are going to be in his ear all day, Barkley. Yeah, that's a fact. Thunder says, I wanted to be Phillips. That's who you want to hit Barkley, right? Knock the sonic rings out of him, Phillips. I hope so. I know what you meant. I know what you meant. Yeah, knock the sonic rings out of him. I'm dead. Y'all and you're laughing too because it's funny. Yeah, you know what I mean. Hit him so hard, them rings, pling, 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 all that. I want to see it. I want to see it, man. And make him. If he fumbles, even better. Then it becomes real after that, for sure. TP West says, "Damn, so we're gonna act like we didn't see Hyatt's play. He hasn't been looking good. That isn't a DJ thing. Listen, that's the other side of the argument. I was talking about Dwayne Murphy. Now I can talk about your point of view as well. Yes, there's a lot of improving that Hyatt has to do. First thing he needs to do is get stronger. He needs to be able to get off the press. I will say that, yes. I will also say this: throughout college, throughout his first season with the New York Giants, he wasn't able to get off press, and we saw him get used more. Be more creative with him. You saw how creative Brian Daboll is with Malik Nabers. Now, Malik Nabers is head and shoulders above what Hyatt is as a talent. But there's a way to get Hyatt involved where you can get it where he's not being pressed. Back him up off the line. Use him in a slot. Bunch formation. Get him involved. If you really wanted Hyatt to make an impact, and I really do believe this, if you really wanted him to make an impact, Brian Daboll is smart. Is a smart enough coach to get him open, to design him open. I just think right now he really doesn't know what he's getting from Daniel Jones. So what's working now is Malik Nabers, Darius Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson. That's working for Daniel Jones right now. So if it's not broke, don't fix it. But I really do believe if Brian Daboll really wanted to get Hyatt involved, he could. Because there's a lot of people that can't run routes, that can't get off pressing. You see those guys get busy week after week. Flash here and there all the time. There's ways to get Hyatt involved. It's not just Daniel Jones's fault. I will agree with you with that, TP Way. He does need to get stronger. Listen, he was already frail. We knew it. He can't hold weight. And it's crazy. For the people that are in New Jersey, somebody introduce Hyatt to one of them diners out there, man. One of those diners, man. This is a diner right outside the the field, the stadium, the practice facility. There's a diner right down the street. Somebody needs to take him, grab him by the hand, and walk him to that diner and get him a couple platters. Get him a couple platters every day. Force feed that man, because he definitely need to eat for sure. Sydney also says maybe DJ and I don't have that chemistry. That's a fact. It could be. It could be that. It could be that. That's a fact. Dwayne, shout out to Dwayne. Dwayne is on it, man. Dwayne, listen, I understand, Dwayne. You're not moving off of that argument, and it is what it is. You have your opinion, true, and until proven otherwise, I can't really argue with you. I let other people argue with you. Fighter's Destiny says, get that man a cheeseburger. Get him a double. Get him a double cheeseburger, man. With the fries. No Diet Cokes either, man. He need all the sugar and all the carbohydrates. Get him something. Get him some calzones, man. A pepperoni roll or a chicken roll or something, man. Get him something. Bill Hartnett says, Hefe, it will reinforce his opinion he made the right decision, if anything. I don't know what the argument is. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to find out what you're replying to, Bill. Thunder says he's really expecting that Barkley plays the victim well, but like we all know, he wanted to stay. If he wanted to stay, he would have signed last year. That's a fact. That's a fact. Okay, so we talked about Slate, we talked about Daniel Jones. I'm going to switch it to the defense. Now, obviously, we're happy with Burns. We're happy with Dexter Lawrence. We're happy with what we saw from Azeez Ojulari. The secondary, the young secondary is stepping up. Flat is stepping up. There's one guy that I had high expectations for in this defense, whose role has changed, and we're not seeing the same impact from him because his role has changed. Bobby Okereke. And also, he's missed a couple of tackles. He hasn't made some plays when they were there. How do we feel about Bobby Okereke? Because before, I thought he was borderline Pro Bowl. I thought as long as the defense was going to get better, his chances of possibly reaching that all-pro level was going to be there. But we have not seen that this year from Bobby Okereke. Do you believe that he just fell off, or is it the role change, the way this defense is being played and called right now, that's affecting Bobby Okereke? Let me know how you guys feel about that, man, because I had high expectations for Bobby Okereke, and I'm not seeing it. Shout out to Blaze, and he said, sidebar, how about Cordell Flott playing well lately? That's a fact. That's a fact. But you know what? It's not a coincidence. One of the main things people were saying is that what helps the secondary the most? Pass rush. And as soon as the New York Giants started getting home, you saw that secondary play a lot better. And as long as we continue to do that, these guys are going to continue to play better. But, let's be honest, it starts with the pass rush. But at the end of the day, you still got to be there to make the plays. And Cordell Flott 100% has been making some plays, breakups, everything. Tackling, too. He's been tackling. And, he's another guy. I mean, you got Hyatt in one hand, get Flott with your other hand and walk them to the diner, double cheeseburgers, fries, and platters for all of them. Because both of those guys need to eat. Both of them. All right, let's see what we got going on. A lot of people agreeing with Bill. And here, my man Blazing Braids says Okereke's role is definitely changed, and he's not on the ball like he's been. Yeah, he's been more in coverage. Hook the curl. He's been dropping back. That's been his role. He's not the main blitzer. We've seen Micah McFadden and guys on the secondary, do a lot of the blitzing. So his role has changed. Now, with that role, I think he can play whatever role. I think he's that versatile. Coverage, pass coverage, run defense. I think he can do it all. I think once he gets a better handle on this defense, I think we'll start to see him make plays, but it'll be more plays in coverage than anything, and being a backup guy to clean up if anybody breaks containment or stuff like that. But it is definitely different from Wink's system. He was more aggressive in Wink's system. Now he's just playing like to me, like an honorary second level safety for the most part. Hook the curl, covering out to the flats in some occasions, and clean up in case, a runner breaks containment or quarterback breaks containment. He just needs to finish. He just needs to finish for sure. Sydney says, I hope there isn't a conflict with him and Shane. I mean, Bobby is nursing an injury that's being kept in house. Hope he plays. Well, what injury? Let me know. Let me in on the scoop. Let me in on the scoop. He's injured. Let me know. Blazin says, has Isaiah Simmons been cited on the field of play? Nah. Nah, not really. He blocked the kick, and then I don't know if I saw him in that Bengals game. I don't think so. I don't think so. It says super quiet. That's a fact. Super quiet. Thunder says, El Jefe, I'm worried the booze will feed his fuel. I don't know. Oh, you talking about Saquon Barkley. So listen, man, stop worrying about Saquon Barkley, man. Barkley's going to do what he does, man. At the end of the day, we just need to stop him. But Barkley is Barkley. I'm not going to sit here and act like he's not Saquon Barkley. If he finds a gap, he will exploit it. Another thing he will do is he will dance before he hits the hole. So let's take advantage of that as well. Let's rally to the ball. Let's get to the ball, group tackles, do all that. And I think New York Giants can contain Saquon Barkley for sure. My man Joseph says, I think the Simmons is going to be a spy. I think that Simmons is going to be a spy on Hurts. No 50-yard QB runs. That's a way that I would play him for sure. I don't actually. We did see we did see Simmons in the Bengals game when Joe Burrow broke that 47-yard touchdown. When he broke that run, he outran Simmons. So we did see Simmons last week, but I don't like what I saw. I don't like what I saw for sure. Shout out to Joseph. Said I think Simmons is going to be the spot. Oh, yeah, I think it's going to be the spot. Yeah, I appreciate the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. But yeah, man, that's a way that I would play him. Right now, I would assume that Bobby Okereke will have that role. And it's all about containment. I think that the edge is playing well enough. The edges are playing well enough, especially whoever's on the left side, our right, their left side. Somebody's they're gonna whoop that whoever's playing left tackle. Who's ever stepping in for Mailata or Mayat, whatever his name is, Mayata, whatever. Whoever's stepping in for him should have a game tomorrow for sure. Should have a game. Bill, I think you got the wrong Hefe. He said, "Oh hell, that's funny." TP Way says, "Fact: the Eagles have their dogs, but we got to trust our dogs too." That's a fact. That's a fact. Again, I feel, and it feels like a jinx when I say that I feel good about this game, because every time I feel good about a game, things don't quite go there. But listen, I got to stop, going against how I feel because of superstition. I've watched these Philadelphia Eagles play. All the games they played this season, they're not the same Philadelphia Eagles. And it's not just on the field. It's off the, well, not off the field, but it's the coaching. It's not just them playing against their opponent. They got real internal issues going on there. They're not right. I don't care if they're right either. I want to squash them. But for the people that have been watching the Philadelphia Eagles all year, y'all know that's not the same Eagles. That's not the same Eagles. They don't look the same. They got their weapons back last week. They struggled with the Browns. Almost, you know what I mean? So I don't fear any team really when I think about it. I was uncomfortable with Dallas prior to this year because I think Dallas is not playing well either. But I definitely don't fear the Eagles. I definitely think this is a winnable game. We just got to play and execute. If the defense plays the way that they've been playing, they could probably hold the Eagles to 14, 17 points. I really do believe that. 20 points. I'll give them a little bit of respect. Not really. But if the defense continues to play as well as they've been playing, we just need the offense to give us something. Give us something. If the offense gives us anything, I definitely think we can win that game tomorrow. I already believe that we can win that game. But if the offense plays well, chances go chances are even higher, for sure. See what we got going on here. Oh, I see the back and forth still. Back and forth going. I'm going to let you guys handle those back and forths. It's funny. All right, I got another question. So, another question when it comes to this defense, right? And I talked about it a little bit more. I wanted an interception. We don't have any interceptions from the secondary this year. Hurts has been throwing interceptions galore, making mistakes this year. Not galore, but he's had a fair share of interceptions. Who do you want to get the first interception in the secondary? Who do you want to get the first interception? Let me know in the comment section. So I'll tell you who I want to get that first interception. I want Tyler Nubin to get that first interception in the secondary. And there's a couple of reasons why. I'm a fan of Tyler Nubin. He is a ball hawk safety. We haven't seen that yet. We've seen him be a short tackler, run support. We've seen him do that. We have not seen the ball hawk ability of Nubin yet. But another reason why I want to see Nubin get it is because the guy that left, the safety that left, who I'm a big fan of, McKinney, Roll Tide, man, and Alabama lost today. That's another. I'm mad about that, but still, McKinney is going off with the interceptions this year, going off. So I would love for our first interception to be Nubin. And I don't want to compare Nubin to McKinney. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm just saying, second round pick, high expectations for Nubin. He's already playing well. I want to see him get the first interception. I want to see it. And hopefully it's a pick six. Hopefully it's a pick six. Shout out to Ronnie in the building. Touchdown Chef is in the building. What's going on, Ronnie? Ronnie says, hey, family. That's a fact. This is a family. Giants family for sure. Oh, my man Tim in the building. Tim, what you got for me, Tim? What you got for me, Tim? He says, will Barkley run the ball against the former team? Well, he's definitely going to run the ball, but I don't think he's going to have a good time doing it. I need a prediction from you, Tim. Because, Tim, you be coming up with some of the greatest predictions and stuff like that. So I want a prediction from you, Tim, but let it be a good one. Let it be favorable for the Giants too, Tim, please. But shout out to Tim that's in the building. That's my homie Tim, man. Shout out to Tim. A lot of people saying what's up to Ronnie in the building. Sydney says, I want Banks so I can say Banks closed on. That's hilarious. That's a good reason too. That is Banks are closed, man. I need to see that. Banks are closed. That's a great reason for Banks to get to want Banks to get that interception. I like that. I like that a lot. She also said that Phillips deserves one. I agree. Secondary flat. Pinnock. You know, at the end of the day, I really don't care as long as we get the interception. There's guys that I want to get interceptions. And for reasons. And it's like I said, Nubin is number one on my list, but whoever gets it, gets it. I just hope it's a pick 6-2 on top of it. Even if it's Bobby Okereke gets in it, I'm rooting for Bobby Okereke too. If in his new role, if he's able to get a pick 6, interception, stuff like that, it's well worth it. It's worth it. Another person for Pinnock, Joseph says Pinnock because he is my neighbor here in CT. That's a fact. He's your neighbor. Shout out to Pinnock. Shout out to you, Joseph, for having Pinnock as a neighbor. That's a heck of a commute. Oh no, he's from Connecticut. That's right. He's from Connecticut. I forgot about that. Yeah, he is from Connecticut. I was about to say he's your neighbor. That's a hell of a commute. That's a commute. But nah, that's a fact. I forgot he is from Connecticut. That is right. He played at Pittsburgh, but he is from Connecticut. I forgot about that. Dwayne said he's still 24. Who are you talking about? Talking about one of the players? Sydney says McKinney has 5 interceptions. Yeah, I believe he has an interception a game. Did he not get one? I thought he had 8 interception each game. Did it stop after 5 games? Double check that for me. My man Blazing says, no lie, I'd like to see Phillips get one. Sure. For sure. TP is saying flat. I think the momentum after a pick by him will be through the roof. I think so as well. There's a lot. Listen, just think about how people felt about Flat prior to the season. Just think about how they felt about Flat prior to the season. And now we're at the point where people are like, yeah, they're liking what they're seeing with Flott. And now look at him talking about momentum. What kind of momentum that will give the fan base if Flott is the guy that gets the interception first? And I agree with you. Flott is proving a lot of people wrong. He's proving me wrong. And again, whenever I'm wrong and the Giants benefit from me being wrong, I love it. I love it. If I'm wrong about, I love it. So shout out to Flott, man. Shout out to TP Way too. Dwayne says our secondary is better than people give it credit. Look at Dwayne with the positive comment. Dwayne with the positive comment. As long as you're not talking about Daniel Jones, Dwayne is positive. Shout out to Dwayne, man. Shout out. That's how you know Dwayne just, he really feels the way that he feels about DJ, but he still loves the rest of the team. Shout out to Dwayne, man. My man Duran says Tracy starting. We don't know yet. We don't know yet for sure. We'll find out tomorrow. Brian Dable keeping things under wraps. He did say that all the running backs are going to be used. He even threw Gray in there, pretty much to elude the Ole the question. Because a lot of people were asking him, or the beat writers were asking him, trying to say that, you know what, are you going to, or where is Tracy going to get more carries? And he pretty much didn't give us anything, but it is what it is. Joseph says Pinnock went to Windsor High School in Connecticut. He was a beast at wide receiver and safety. And then he played a little bit of cornerback too once he got to Pittsburgh. A lot of people forget about that. He did play a little bit of cornerback when he was at Pittsburgh. He got to the Jets. They moved him to safety, and he's excelled so far. So yeah, shout out to Joseph with the connection. Shout out to Windsor High School too for Pinnock. That's what's up. That's what's up. Dwayne Murphy says we could use a hat trick from Dexter Lawrence, sack, strip, and a touchdown in one play. Listen. Yeah. No, a strip sack and a touchdown. I'll tell you, I don't want Dexter Lawrence running for a long distance. So if that strip sack and a touchdown is, roughly around like the 10-yard line, maybe the 15-yard line max, 20-yard line max, maybe, then that I don't need to see Dexter Lawrence running 40 yards down the field for sure. No, that'll bring back PTSD. I don't need to see that big man running down and hurting anything, pulling anything, trying to get a touchdown. But a hat trick would be fantastic for sure. Let it be Burns. Let it be Aziz. Let it be Aziz. Let it be Aziz, man, for sure. Said Dwayne Murphy said he was on that Travis Hunter playing time. Yeah. Wide receiver, both sides of the ball. Yeah, talking about Pinnock in high school. Speaking of the Colorado Buffaloes, another good game from Shador. Travis Hunter did not finish the game, though. I believe it was a shoulder injury. Didn't come out. Second. Well, he came out, but he was out of his shoulder pads for the second half. Let's see what else we got going on here. That is true, John. Making a point that we have the fourth youngest roster in the NFL. We are very young. This is a very young team for sure. And that just shows you, especially with the defense doing what it's doing right now, we need to build off of this. A lot of people are pushing, the agenda of trying to clean house when it comes to the coaching staff. And I understand why people will think that. For me, I think we need that continuity. I'm hoping that the team, first of all, I hope the team plays well in general, because I just want the New York Giants to win. But I also want them to play well because I would like these guys to stay. I like what Shane Bowen is doing. I like what Carmen Priscilla was doing with the offensive line. I like the secondary coach. I like Jerome Henderson. I like Andre Patterson with the defensive front. I like what they got going on now on the offensive side. This is most likely the last year that we see Kafka with the New York Giants. Brian Dable has now been calling the plays. I really want to see some continuity with the Giants. A lot of people don't feel like that's a good decision to make. But for me, I do see the positive. We're not seeing it in the winning column, but you see improvement on the field, especially on the defensive side. We just need the offense to match. And I think if we start showing some more fight on offense and be more competitive, because right now we're already competitive, but if we're even more competitive on offense and we actually get some wins going, I think for the most part, the coaching staff stays the way it is, and we continue to build with this young roster. That was a long way to get to the point, but it is what it is. Long, long reason. What else we got going on here? Blazing says the defensive line, who has been leading interior lineman opposite. That's a good question. Nacho had a pretty good, well, I can't say he had a pretty good game, but he made some plays. Surprisingly, DJ Davidson, even though his PFF grade hasn't been good, he had a couple plays. You got to give it to the UDFA, man. You got to give it to Chapman as far as being able to step up. He's been involved. He got a couple sacks this year already too. I wanted it to be Jordan Riley, but he's getting pretty much lost in the rotation. But I had high hopes for Jordan Riley, but we haven't seen enough outside of Dexter Lawrence on that defensive line. Not counting Burns and Azeez Ojulari and Tibbs. So I do think that we target a defensive lineman, definitely in a draft, somebody to put next to Dex or want to put next to Dex. But I don't know. That's a good question, man. You let me know who you think is the guy that's been playing the best next to Dex as far as D tackles go. For me right now, I would say Chapman is the best, and he's not doing fantastic, but as far as flashing, he's flashed a little bit, man, especially for a guy to be so small. And he's not a small guy either. He's just short. But anybody standing next to Dexter Lawrence ends up being small, for sure. A man fighting Fighter's Destiny says trade Hyatt and keep Hodgins in the lineup. You don't have to trade Hyatt. You don't have to trade him. And also, what's his trade value right now? We don't know. He has to put some plays together. Now, it could be a Kansas City Chiefs situation where they just fall in love with a deep threat and they need one, and they can go that route possibly if you're looking for suitors for Hyatt. But right now, you don't have to. There's no reason to trade Hyatt. You can get Hodgins on the field too. Take Bryce for a week off if you want Hodgins in the lineup. But I wouldn't take Hyatt away now. That's you invested a lot. It was a third round pick plus you traded a fourth away to get Hyatt. You should be trying to get that man on the field and scheme him up. So I'm not going to say that yet. Now, if we end up trading Hyatt, then it is what it is. I'm not going to cry. But right now he's on the team. Let's try to get him involved. Blazing says Chapman, Davidson, and Nacho, but nobody is taking the lead. That's a perfect way to say it. That's a perfect way to say it. I did see that, Ronnie. They brought up Timon Fox. I did see that. They did bring up Fox. Listen, I like Fox, man. I like Fox. I liked him when we got him as a UDFA. He earned a spot on the team when we got him in 2022. A lot of people don't know he beat Lawrence Taylor's record in college for sacks at North Carolina. Timon Fox can play, man. It's just not he hasn't been consistent enough, but he is a UDFA. But I like Timon Fox, and I think he can do some things too. Probably going to be more of a special teams guy. Will they have some packages for him? Probably so. If they're bringing up Timon Fox, that means they did some research on the Eagles, and they think that Timon Fox can do some things skill set wise that should affect the game. So that's one thing I noticed. We just don't bring up practice players and not use them from the practice. Well, anybody that we bring up usually gets a good amount of snaps, and the scheme are a part of the scheme as well. So we'll see what happens with that. Shout out to my man Joseph with the $10 super chat. He said, I just wanted to apologize to Andrew Thomas as I was killing him for a couple of bad plays, but he has been playing with an injury. That's a fact on the foot, which a lineman really counts on. That's a fact. And I'm glad that people I'm glad that it came to light. I'm not glad that he ended up hurting himself worse than what he was, but he was fighting through injury. And despite that, he still had good games against Myles Garrett for the most part. It was just last week it was hurting him too much, and then Hendrickson got the best of him. And turns out he's been dealing with some injuries, and now he has the Liz Frank surgery, and who knows, most likely not going to come back this year. Probably I wouldn't even force him back this year. Let him come back healthy. But it's just disappointing. And now we're talking about Josh Ezeudu playing left tackle, and that reminds me I got to say my prayers tonight for Joshua Ezeudu. Say my prayers for Joshua Ezeudu tomorrow. And Daniel Bellinger, because he will be helping them, Chip, for sure. Chris D said, it's only Hyatt's second year. People need to relax. He's a project. That's a fact. He said he did last year. I'm assuming you're talking about Hyatt was involved last year. We saw him involved in some games. Green Bay game. We saw him had one of the best plays was him against the Cardinals when DJ hit him over the middle. Should have been a touchdown, but it is what it is. But we saw him, be a part of the offense last year. And despite his weaknesses, and it's funny, no pun intended, his weakness being weakness, because he's not that strong, there's ways to get him involved for sure. There's ways to get him involved. Blazin says, speaking of injuries, it's a Giants medical staff led by the black teen who was acting as a doctor in those clinics that's hilarious. I remember the picture of the fake doctor, the kid and I remember he had a picture and he was holding his chin. That's hilarious. I know not everybody knows what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. It was the fake teen doctor. That's hilarious. Correction, she's talking about Fox. Okay, I got you. Thank you for the update. Yankees tied the game 2-2, bottom of the sixth. Yeah, I gotta get watching that. I gotta watch that. I need to put a TV in here. That'll be the next thing I do. Get a TV in here, so I can watch while I'm streaming. Maybe not. I don't want to take my attention away. All right. So we come to this time in the show. We've been already over an hour. Let's start the predictions, man. Let me know what you think the score is going to be tomorrow. Let me know who is going to win this game. And then I'm going to let you guys go. Shout out to the 51 people in here. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. But definitely hit that like button. But I want to start seeing some predictions. I will start with my prediction. I think the New York Giants win this game 20-17. 20-17. I got the New York Giants winning 20-17. Let me see what you guys have got. Ronnie is the first one to put the prediction in. Said Giants 23, Philly 21. Ronnie, are you going to the game? Let me know if you're going to the game, Ronnie. Sydney says 17-13 Giants. That's a realistic score. As far as defense goes, that's a realistic score. I like that. Wagner Charles says 24-21 the Giants. My man Joseph says 35-17. Joseph always goes for the heavy points. Shout out to Joseph, man. 35-17, I would love that. I would love 35-17 because you can't really say much when it's 35-17. That's a butt whooping, especially when it comes to the Giants. So 35-17, I love it. Blazing Brazen says 23-13 Giants. Ronnie says she got to work. She's not going to the game. She got to work. Okay. Shout out to Bookend Tackles. He said, let's get a dub 24-17 Giants. That's a fact. Thunder says 24-20 Giants. El Jefe 28-19. I like that score. Giants, my man Roy Copeland says 99-0. Shout out to Ray. 99-0 for Ray. Fighter's Destiny has it being a field goal game. Fighter's Destiny says 9-7 Giants. So you got us getting 3 field goals, or do we get a touchdown and miss the extra point and then kick a field goal? Oh man, 9-7. That'd be an ugly game. 9-7. Ugly game. All right, man. That's it. I don't see any more predictions coming in, so I'm gonna go ahead and get to, because I do want to see this Yankee game. I want to watch the rest of this Yankee game. So he says, we make 3 field goals but miss 2. Oh, come on, man. Don't do that. I don't want to miss any field goals. We need all our points. Listen, I don't want field goals, period. I want touchdowns. But if we're going to kick field goals, we need to make them all for sure. If we made a couple field goals or attempted a couple field goals, New York Giants would have 2 more wins this season. That's a fact. But shout out to everybody that came through tonight. I appreciate everybody for vibing with me. Shout out to everybody. Tomorrow, got the post game right after the post game reaction right after the game. Hopefully you guys tune in for that. And like I say every week, hopefully it's a victory Sunday and a victory Monday. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows Big Blue Nation. Let's go.
There's one thing I want you to do for me.
What?
Come here.
Win.
Win. Win.